almost 2 weeks after the federal government of Nigeria announced the total closure of its land borders with the Niger Republic. The action and other sanctions imposed on Niger by Ecowas and its closest neighbor were intended to compel the military junta in power to restore civil rule. But the total shutdown is also negatively impacting on the means of livelihood of residents in these border communities, as many loaded trailers of perishable items like dates and tiger nuts are stranded between the borders. TVC's Abdulateef Yusuf takes a look at the possible losses to be incurred by traders and how it will affect the overall price of commodities.
One can hardly quantify the volume of goods which passes through this major border between Nigeria and Niger Republic daily, satisfying consumer demands of households from the both sides. Nigeria largely depends on import of dates, tiger nuts and some Arabian spices from Niger Republic to meet the daily demands of such items. Nigeria in return supplies maize, sorghum, millet and other varieties of cereals. But everything is now at standstill, with vehicles loaded to capacity trapped on between the Nigerian and Nigerian border in Libya. This trader is a major dealer in dates and tiger nuts and is among owners of these trucks trapped for days. He fears the increasing rains, moisture and warmth being generated from the bottom of the container will have damaged more than half of the items. This has also triggered a gradual return of stealing and snatching in broad daylight. Already, the situation has rendered redundant drivers, loaders and many youths that earns a daily living from these trading activities. It is a very complicated situation for both countries, who are losing a lot economically to this border closure. Already, the prices of dates and tiger nuts have gone through the roof, and drinks made with tiger nuts and dates are becoming more expensive daily. The Chairman Senate Committee on Customs was also in Libya to interact with the people to find workable solutions to multiple crises in the border areas.
That's during and after closure of the border. That one will be resolved with the federal government maybe tonight or next week. Things will become normal. Thank you.
As the Ecowas continued to explore possible ways to resolve its standoff with military junta in Niger, residents of border communities, who are the one feeling the bond, pray that normalcy will return soon. Behind me, a lineup of vehicles that have crossed from Niger, trying to enter Nigeria, but due to the border closure, have remained here for days. And this will not change until the federal government lifts the ban on the border closure. From Libya border, Abdulateef Yusuf reporting.
Elsewhere, a project to address the evolving democratic decay and reversal of good governance ethos in the West African region has been launched. The mobile-based initiative will work as a mechanism for monitoring government performance and also strengthen the effectiveness of democratic institutions and practices in the region. Moyo Thomas reports.
Recent political happenings in West Africa has underscored the need to deliberately entrench good governance in the region. The challenge of achieving good governance is also deep-rooted in the alienation of the people from the governance process. West Africa, with its growing youthful population, is increasingly demanding inclusion, accountability of leaders, and total eradication of poverty.
For that solidarity message from our partners to you.
This event is the launch of an initiative to address concerns of sustainable peace and development in the region.
Good governance is perhaps the single most important factor in eradicating poverty and promoting development. Effective adherence to the intricate elements of good governance, such as accountability, transparency, combating corruption, citizens' participation, and an enabling legal and judicial framework is therefore crucial for the development and stability of states.
For the region to reap the dividend of good governance and democracy, citizens must be allowed to play a determinant role in the decision-making process. Engaging citizens in governance system
ECOWAS Vice President, while launching the application, says it is in line with ECOWAS's vision.
West Africa is essentially a young population with 65% of citizens below the age of 25. Ordinarily, this demographic composition should be an asset to the region. But instead, the prevailing socio-economic challenges manifesting through issues such as youth unemployment has laid the foundation for new political and social movements by youth that challenge existing political establishments.
The application is available in English, French, and Portuguese, the 3 official languages of the West African region. The initiative will also help propel the region to meet SDG Goal 16, which requires government to build peaceful and inclusive societies, providing access to justice for all, and developing accountable institutions while ensuring participatory and representative decision-making at all levels. Moya Thomas, TVC News, Abuja.